The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
This is Haymaker Combat Sports. Here, coming straight from the source. Only with the real, they ain't hit to dress it up. Sweet science, MMA, you can get it all from us. Trust, 5 stars, cause it's live up. And through the fight game, we can guide ya. Slick talking, putting them in caution. Passing all the goals, cause the audio is awesome. What you waiting for? Spread the word, tell a friend. This the podcast where all of the discussion ends. When they start going strike for strike, this the show that'll tell you what you've seen in the fight. They ain't playing on the mic, this a welcome to the show. Warm it up for the squad, Haymaker of the bros. I'm a bow wow, you can hear it from the pros. It's Haymaker Combat Sports on the road.
Welcome back to Haymaker Combat Sports, powered by the Belly Up Sports Media Network. I'm your host, EJ Reed, joined by my fellows, Aaron Admire, Steve Johnson. What's good, fellas?
Happy Tuesday. Glad everyone survived the Amazon crash of yesterday.
What's good, Steve?
What's up? Speaking of that, think even the YouTube or something had crashed within that timeline.
A lot of people don't realize that Amazon owns servers that a lot of the internet works off of. Even my work has ties to the Amazon server. So Snapchat, Venmo, Fortnite, like just all this random shit yesterday, starting at like 3 a.m. or some shit, just like kind of went down. So if you had any internet or app troubles yesterday, it was probably due to the Amazon web services going down.
That's crazy. How long were they down for?
It came up about, I think, 2:30 yesterday afternoon. It was having trouble all day yesterday. I know Reddit was down. That's the only thing I really had trouble with. And then, of course, like my work, it was in and out. Just different things. Everybody kind of had their own troubles with different things.
That's crazy. I wonder how much money they lost when that happened.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Like the Amazon Alexa app was down. Like, here, my fiance, she couldn't play music in the kitchen. My mom was messaging me. My mom's a boomer. She's like, my Alexa won't work. I'm like, yeah, mom, like it's tied to this shit. It ain't going to work for a while. So, and like, I heard that Amazon went down that ties all this shit together. Like, imagine if like something bigger happened, like the world would shut down. Like, we need a backup plan, man.
Didn't they think the world was going to shut down Y2K?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember New Year's Eve, 99 going into 2000, they thought that the computers were going to break down because people were like selling like dumb shit to people that were unaware and didn't know any better, like different software shit that made no sense, like for ungodly amounts of money to like tell them that it'll fix their problems and shit. Like it was crazy back then.
Yeah, I remember. Thought something was going to happen and nothing happened. But if shit did shut down, and you think you could live off the grid?
I could for a little while because I'm like, contrary to what it looks like in my office, I'm kind of backwoods and redneck as it is. I can go fishing, hunting, and kind of live off that because, this Friday, I was down at my lake house. Like, it's backwoods as it is. Like, I can do all that stuff until everything comes back up. I can survive for quite a while. My dad, he's a doomsday prepper as it is. He's got like 30-day supply of food and stocked up on the gold and silver to trade and barter with. So we're good.
How about you, Steve?
I think and stick it out. If I have to, I'll make grass stew.
Big grass stew. Be kind of bland. You might have to try to find something to spice that up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It'd be rough. Like, you remember times without like technology back in like the 90s, and I'm sure you remember like a tiny bit of the 80s, but gradual progress, like you had you used to have to pull over to the gradual progress, like you used to have to pull over to the gas stations to figure out directions, and then it slowly shifted over to MapQuest, and now it's just right on the palm of your hands with a phone, and it's like almost like you don't know how to do shit without typing shit in Google Maps.
Dude, I was telling my fiance that because we did that road trip this weekend, and I was telling her when I graduated high school in 2002, me and my buddies, the first thing we did when we graduated is take a road trip to St. Louis. And I was telling her, I was like, dude, we had MapQuest pages just printed out of all the places we wanted to go because there wasn't smartphones, there wasn't GPS. So we had just like MapQuest page after page, how to get to our hotel, pages of how to get to the arch, pages of how to get to the mall, pages of how to get to the 18 and over clubs. Like, you just didn't have shit like that. And if you didn't know like where stuff was, you had to have some sort of maps like that. Like, it's just crazy that this thing right here, it has everything in it now.
Exactly. Those MapQuest, and I had to print out MapQuest like everywhere I went, but if you were good at just making sure you look at it without crashing, it gets you where you needed to go.
Somebody,
Go ahead.
And somebody, if they did have something fancy like a navigation system, you had to update it with a CD, not even through internet or Bluetooth. You know, in a sophisticated way.
What were you about to say, Mike?
I worked at a GPS company in 2010, and it was like what Steve just said. Like, you had to order a CD or you had to order like a memory card back then to update the GPS. But like on 80 Proof, when we had that podcast, vacation with your family to another city, like your parents had to know somebody that knew how to get around town because like you didn't have maps that were that detailed that told you that this, gas station was here or this attraction was here. Like, you had to know somebody that knew their way around to know how to get somewhere. Like, because you didn't have detailed maps like that. Like, you just didn't have shit at your disposal telling you where to go. Like, it's crazy how people used to just get around and find shit. Like, you didn't just know where to go. If you needed a tire replaced in a city you weren't familiar with, how did you know where to go?
Just had to guess. No, but that brings back a memory, traveling to vacation destinations. We used to basically stay in the Southeast, because I'm from South Carolina. But like you said, my dad used to have the big map that he carried in his glove compartment. It would get you, like you said, in like the general vicinity. But once you got to the city, you just had to go to gas stations and ask them how to get to specific places once you got to the, general vicinity.
I wonder if that's people, like, one of the things that lost and like disconnected from people. Like, maybe people were friendlier back then because they had to interact and ask each other for directions. And like, there was more people just interacting with each other.
Yeah. I mean, even with these kids growing up, like, everything is online. Like, a lot of them just have friends online, no face-to-face interaction. And then once people get into real life interaction, some people act weird about it. Some people just don't know how to act, get aggressive or just shy and weird. It's just different times. Pros and cons, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially going through the COVID era, that really put people in the online life.
Yeah. A lot of people got into their shell, and some people haven't gotten out of that COVID shell. I know a lot of jobs, especially in certain states, have gone back to work, but a lot of jobs are still remote since COVID, So, times are changing, but we are live for the first time in a while. Try to do more lives, still getting the kinks. Always doing these preview shows. We talk about news stories inside or outside of the cage. Amar, you saw some circus fights that got put together recently?
Yeah. The first one that popped up, it's not official, but it's verbally agreed upon. Dylan Dennis, that dork, he fought one of the Paul brothers, and he tried He has verbally agreed to fight Eddie Hall, world's strongest man. Eddie Hall, you've probably seen him online. He fought 2 guys at one time in a cage match. They verbally agreed to fight. So that's one circus fight probably coming up. The other one is official. My boy, Chris Weidman, is going to be boxing Anderson Silva as the opening fighters. They fought a couple times before. Boxing isn't either one of their specialties. Is it really fair? They're both past their prime. I mean, I don't know. I mean, in my head, it's a circus fight, but, you know, whatever.
Outside or outside the I don't know even what to think about that. I'll let you kick it off, Steve.
I could say out of all those I've made just for UFC nostalgia, the Silva and who else you say?
Weidman.
Silva and Weidman. I'll watch that because it's on the card.
You saw some circus fights that got put together?
Other than that, I mean, the Eddie Hall and Dylan Dennis, I'm surprised he's still hanging on. Anything.
The first
doesn't do, I mean, is he specifically just a jiu-jitsu person? Or is he known for MMA mostly?
I mean, Dylan Dennis, I mean, he's very high level jiu-jitsu, and I'm pretty sure he ran around. Didn't he run around with McGregor or something?
That's right. He did. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he got his clout running around with McGregor or something, and he got some big fights, and he just wasn't that good. And then he got thrown into the Paul brothers fight, and he was getting beat very bad. So he shot a takedown in a boxing match and got disqualified. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know how he stayed in the spotlight at this point. Because wasn't he in Bellator for a little bit, Dylan Dennis?
He got 2 Bellator fights, and he actually won both of them. And then he fought in round 1 in, So, I mean, he does all right. And he actually won the belt light heavyweight championship in this Misfits over in England.
Yeah, that's basically toy belt, the Misfits boxing. That's basically the influencer promotion. They just got a bunch of influencers in there, and then they throw some legit guys here and there. Darren Till, he was fighting in it, and Tony Ferguson, I want to say, the one I watched. But yeah, if I catch some highlights from it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. But the Silva and Weidman one, I don't know. Why are they doing it at this point? Did they say why am I?
Didn't say why, but I mean, they got such a history. I have to assume that that's why. Their first fight, we know how that ended. Weidman knocked out Silva. A lot of people call it a fluke. I mean, but, Weidman was trying to knock him out, and it worked. Silva was playing around with him, whatever. Second fight, Silva broke his leg, whatever. So this kind of puts him on an even playing field. I don't think anything fluky could happen. So, it is what it is. Going back to Dylan Dennis, the way he got his fame is Conor McGregor brought him in to train for the Nate Diaz fight, brought him in as a jiu-jitsu coach in 2016. So that's where Dennis gets his clout.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically been eating off of that ever since.
That's when they pop. Yeah. He hung around McGregor all that time, I guess. And he worked with McGregor through the Khabib fight. So, I mean, he really just hung around. I mean, I guess McGregor liked him. He kept him around.
And if he was McGregor's jiu-jitsu coach, how come McGregor was so terrible on the ground?
That I don't know.
Sounds like he needs to get fired. But I don't know. When's the last time that Weidman fought in MMA? I know he came back after the broken leg.
I thought it wasn't too long ago. I thought that he fought somebody, and we talked about it on a show not too long ago. December 7th, 2024. Eric Anders. He lost by TKO.
Anders beat him?
Yeah, Anders beat him. On January 17, 2025, Weidman announced on the weigh-in show that he was retiring.
Okay, so that's why he's doing this boxing. But when is... go ahead.
Yeah, and then I see here, January 2025, Weidman was drafted for that Global Fight League, and Weidman was supposed to face Luke Rockhold, and then Global Fight League, kind of went to shit, so nothing ever happened.
When has Weidman ever been known for his boxing prowess, though?
I thought he had pretty good hands back when he was on his run when he beat Mark Munoz, and then I thought he was pretty decent.
No.
He had really good size for a middleweight.
I don't know what you think about his prowess, Steve.
Yeah, I think he defended it once. What against? Wasn't it Mark Munoz?
I know he beat the shit out of Munoz, but
he won it against Anderson Silva, defended it against Anderson Silva, defended it against Machida, defended it against Belfort, and then he lost it to Rockhold.
And before he won the belt, didn't he beat up Munoz pretty bad?
Yeah, he beat Munoz.
I think he got him out with an elbow or something. A sneaky short elbow.
Yeah, elbow and punches. Yeah.
Well, exactly. That's elbows. But I never had known him to beat to some type of JDS on the feet or anything. I feel like he was a wrestler that learned how to box, as he was training. Because remember he caught Silva when Silva was fooling around in that first fight. So I don't know. And Silva's had a couple boxing matches, so early on, I think I would give Silva the edge if they just stand up in boxing.
No, man. Anderson Silva's 50 now.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, they're both up there. I know, what is it, Weidman 40? 41?
41.
Yeah, so it's going to be like an old-timers fight.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, once both guys are over 40, it's an old timers fight for sure.
Yeah, well, we tuned in. You said it's on the tank card, so might as well.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to.
I think that was the point of them putting it on there. So we'll see. But I don't know if y'all saw the story with Jalton Almeida. So
no.
They're asking Jalton Almeida about, I think, the Aspinall fight, and something else that got brought up in the story is that Alex Pereira wants to fight Jones at the White House. I don't know what y'all thoughts about that. We talk about that. That's probably going to be what's going to happen next, but now it's been put out in the universe. So what do you think, Amber?
Well, I think that whole thing depends on this weekend. We're going to talk about the fight this weekend, but the Jon Jones fight depends on this weekend as well. If Ciryl Gane beats Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones is going to say, why do I need to fight Ciryl Gane? And the easier fight is going to be Alex, I believe, for Jon Jones, because Jon Jones is a wrestler. He's going to just go in there and have to take Alex down. The money fight is going to be Alex for Jon Jones. Nobody wants to see Jon Jones fight Ciryl Gane. Nobody wants to see that. So all roads lead to everybody wants to see Jon Jones fight Alex or Tom Aspinall. So if Tom Aspinall loses this weekend, the best case scenario is either way. Either way, Jon Jones is getting paid. Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones, he's getting paid no matter what. So, the only, loser in the situation is if Tom wins, Alex loses out.
So Tom wins. You think Alex loses it out? Because you think
Yeah,
maybe Jones?
because I mean, well, if Tom wins, do you think that the UFC is still going to let John fight Alex? I mean,
maybe in like a spectacle fight.
but then who are they going to put it? Are they going to keep throwing other people at Tom, potentially making him lose and losing the Jon Jones fight? You know, and then they're going to have what has kind of happened with like the Ngannou thing. The fight that should have been. So then you potentially lose that down the road to get Jon Jones a fight with Alex when Alex was, a middleweight, going up to heavyweight or, whatever to fight Jon Jones. I don't know. I just think that there's a lot riding on this weekend. Jon Jones is going to be the winner no matter what. And if Tom Aspinall wins, I guess Jon Jones really is going to have his pick. The UFC is going to do whatever he wants and let him pick. I don't think the UFC is going to make him fight Tom like I was just talking about. I think it'll really be up to him. I think the biggest money fight is probably Alex because I think Alex has a bigger name than Tom. Me personally, I want to see Jon and Tom fight more. I think that's a more interesting fight just because I think that if Jon Jones is afraid of Alex's striking, he can just go right in there and take him down. That's just my opinion.
What do you think, Steve?
I think Aspinall, I think he had a choice. He could probably wait it out to see what Jon Jones is doing or hold up the division. And I think he chose that, which puts, the chess piece in play of Jon Jones. I call it justified, making him do his justified dirty work, which what I mean by that is if he beats Cyril Gane, or if Cyril Gane beats him, Cyril Gane becomes the champ, but then Jon Jones already beat him. And then he already knocked off Tom Aspinall just by default. So he can go and do that money fight with Pereira, which I think he's hopefully that happens. Because like Hamar said, that would be the easier fight. I think Tom Aspinall has a lot weighing on him, just on maybe the legacy part. But if he loses, I would say it's game over. Yeah, except for his last fight with an up-and-comer heavyweight. And it kind of have a storyline. Jon Jones went up in light heavy, so is Pereira, both coming into a new division. And this can settle the fight of who can pass the torch of a fighter coming up from light heavyweight to heavyweight.
So I'm looking through Pierre calling out Jones. I don't see him saying a specific weight. I don't know if you know more about that, Admire. I just say he called him for White House. And what if they fought at light heavyweight, Jones and Pierre, Admire?
I have no proof of this, but I think it would have to be at heavyweight because I think that's where John's at now. That's where he's more comfortable. That's where his body's at now. And that lines Alex up. If he would happen to beat Jon Jones, that puts Alex directly in title contention at heavyweight. It makes him, a 3-division champ, and that's what he's really going for is that legacy of having 3 different weight class, championships. So I don't see why Alex would not want to do it at heavyweight. If you're going for, if you're trying to go after the king, why not do it at the weight class that's going to get you the most prestige? Why do it at light heavyweight where you could potentially lose your belt and where you're not gaining as much? Alex has more to gain at heavyweight than Jones has at light heavyweight.
Well, like you said, what if Aspinall wins? And the only way it can make sense is if Jon Jones tries to get his light heavyweight belt back.
It could. I don't know. I mean, hasn't Jon Jones already said that he really has no interest in getting his light heavyweight belt back? That's why he didn't go after it when he came back.
What? That was what, two years ago? Things changed. I can't remember him talking about it recently.
Yeah, but I mean, if at any point in time he could have went back after it if he wanted to, and he just didn't. So I don't know. I mean, who knows what the guy's thought process is? He just retired on us like 8 months ago or some shit.
I think it was even after that. I mean, more recent. I was like what, 3 or 4 months ago? I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been more recent than that. So I mean, so speculating on what his thought process is there's no way to tell. So I mean, the best way to know what's going to happen is see who wins Saturday night and see if anybody jumps in the ring and calls anybody out. If Tom wins, he's going to call Jon out. If Jon goes in the cage and faces off with him, then you'll know. Surely if Jon isn't cage side to do that, Jon's going to be on X or Twitter, and he'll have something to say about it.
He definitely does like to troll on the internet. But another little, I don't want to call it a headline, but a little tidbit that came out of this Almeida story that he had. I don't know which organization he was talking to, or what site or paper or whatever medium. But he also said it was almost like a half. It was like a half compliment. He said he was talking about the Jones and Almeida fight. He said it's a tough fight. He's a big fan of Jon Jones, and he said he went up to fight a heavier Gon, and he looked a little bit slow, but he's experienced. So in his past couple heavyweight fights, does Jones look like he lost a step, am I?
Oh, I mean, I don't think so. Unless I missed something. What was Jon's last fight?
It was Stipe.
I mean, he beat the shit out of him, and Stipe was considered one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Before that was Cyril Gane. I mean, there's only 2 fights at heavyweight to judge that off of, and he won both of them very quickly. I mean, if he lost a step somewhere, the only fight recently that I could point out to, which it wasn't even recent, was 2020 against Dominic Reyes. I think Reyes did very good in that fight, but I can't say that a fight 5 years ago gives any indication of recent. So no, I don't think Jones has lost a step. And traditionally, I don't know if it's true or not, but Jones always claims that he really doesn't go 100%. Like, you never really know if Jones is going full throttle or not.
Maybe it was something lost in the translation because, Almeida speaks Portuguese. So the whole quote says Jon Jones moved up in weight and fought a bit heavy against Gane. He was slow, but he's super experienced. Then he said, you saw him come lighter for the Stipe fight, but then he didn't say anything after that. So I don't know if he thought that he looked slow against Stipe as well. I don't know. But what do you think, Steve?
I think even if Jones did feel like he had lost a step, which I don't think. I think his IQ is there. I think Jon Jones' IQ is above many, and maybe in the Mayweather level as far as Mayweather in boxing. He makes it look so easy, especially with like you said, Stipe was one of the top heavyweights. Done his thing in light heavy, and a lot of times he made it look easy or just not even compete sometimes some of his fights. And he's still doing it, even his last fight. So I can say it's more of a compliment because I don't see any flaws his last fight.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a huge sample size. I mean, how many rounds did the Stipe fight? Went 2?
3.
Went 3. So that is a bigger sample size. I have to go back and watch that fight. Maybe I'll do some homework and see if he lost a step. Because I only watched that fight once. It was pretty dominant. But I know the Gone fight was over pretty quickly. Got him in the ground. That was it. But I don't know. Still Jones. He's 38 now. So all the time is undefeated. So we'll see what happens with that going forward. Anything come across your radar, Steve?
Nothing much. Of course, when we not to bring him up, but as soon as we got off our last, Connor got into some controversy. Can't even remember.
What did he do this time?
What was it? Right off of we got off.
So
I know bare knuckle happened in between our last podcast. I can't remember what he did.
we talked about his bare knuckle appearance when we were talking about when we were doing the Mike Perry fight.
Was it this that he got a 18-month suspension?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, he got a 18-month suspension, but I think it ends up being only a 12-month or something, or he got a 24-month suspension, but it got reduced to 18 months, something like that. It ends up being shorter than what he actually got, and I think it actually ends up lining up with the UFC White House card or something, coincidentally. So I don't know if, somebody got paid off or if it's a favor to somebody or whatever, or just a coincidence. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to try to put him on that card, but it kind of lines up that his suspension will be over. It ended up being retroactive and all that. So
I heard he got suspended because he didn't show up for tests. So I guess take it with a grain of salt. You think it's anything to that? Am I?
I mean, there's a reason why he was ducking it. So, take that with a grain of salt or how you will. I mean, if I was preparing for a sporting event, if I'm an athlete and I know I have to perform and I have to take these tests and somebody is coming to test me and I refuse to take the tests, what would you assume? There's your answer. So, whatever. Yeah, the suspension was 24 months, but with further cooperation, it prompted a reduction down to 18 months. Suspension retroactive to the date of his final missed test. So he could return to competition March 20th, 2026 is the soonest. So.
Well, I don't know. Do you think it should maybe be an amendment to the rules? Because what if he was not taking like anabolic steroids? What if he's just taking some banned stuff that's not illegal to heal up his leg? Am I?
I mean, we really don't know what it was, so we can't prove anything. I mean, it's, the legal system very well. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove, and there's nothing we can prove at this point, so there's nothing you can do about it. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's steroids, cocaine, or, straight gasoline in his system. It doesn't matter at this point. You can't prove it.
You think he was trying to duck some nefarious shit, Steve?
Think so, and basically this is just a detox period without being tested or confirmed of anything in his system. So I think it's just probably paid the fine, basically a hidden detox fee.
We'll never know. Like Am said, it's about what you can prove, and he hadn't popped hot yet. Not I'm aware of. I don't think he's ever popped.
That's kind of a fast bounce back too, as far as compared to everybody else.
You said he bounced back?
I said it'd be a fast bounce back compared to anybody else that had a suspension for banned substances. Or
Didn't not Anderson Silva, Romero, didn't Didn't he get his overturned? He got banned or suspension.
Yeah,
I think so.
he proved that the company contaminated the supplements he was using.
And then Roundtree too. Didn't Roundtree come back pretty fast? He admitted that he actually did it.
Man, I forgot about Roundtree. Yep.
Yeah, so I think there's some examples in there. People have a quick turnaround. So it's Connor, so ain't no telling what's gonna happen with him. I don't even think he'll come back and fight, but we'll see.
No, especially after he already said that he wants like $100 million to do the White House card. Like, like we've already said, he hasn't fought in however many years. Like, he hasn't fought in 4 years. He hasn't won a fight in 5 years. Like, you can't demand $100 million, dude. Like, get real.
Yeah, he's basically saying he don't want to fight because damn well Dana ain't giving him that much. But it's Connor. Connor being Connor. But let's get into this weekend's card. It kind of snuck up. I looked at the calendar. I said, shit, it's a UFC card this weekend. It's the last weekend of October, and then we'll be right into November holiday season, man. This year's kind of flown by. This gun is going down in Abu Dhabi, if I'm start times.
1 p.m. Central.
Yeah, so we always get
that's the main card.
Yeah, we always. Oh wow, the main card is at 1.
Yeah, main card is 1 p.m. Central. So it's So what
usually
time is the early prelims?
They don't even have early prelims from what I saw.
Prelims 9 a.m. Central.
That's insane. So you'll be busy at work, Steve, when this card is on.
Yeah. Hopefully I get to see the yeah, it looks like a good card.
Prelims are loaded with a lot of names that I don't recognize.
As far as the main card, yeah, the prelims look really slacking.
Yeah, we'll do a quick rundown of the prelims. In the women's strawweight, you got Jacqueline Amorim versus Mizuki. Flyweight division, we have Azat Maxim versus Mitch Raposo. The heavyweight division, we got Hamdi Abdel Wahab versus Chris Barnett. Familiar name. Featherweight division, we got Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Miguel Delgado. Heavyweight division, we have Walter Walker versus Louis Sutherland. In the lightweight division, we got Abdul Karim Al-Salwadi versus Matthias Camilo. In the lightweight division, we got Ludovic Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. Middleweight division, we got Ikram Aliskerov versus Park Jung-young. And then to top this one off, in the lightweight division, we got Nazarat Hakparaj versus Kilin Salakil. So, on these cards, they get a lot of people that are close to the region, a lot of Western Europeans and Middle Eastern. So I think they're kind of placating to that. Any of these fights pique your interest, Admire?
A lot of names that I don't recognize on there. It's early in the morning. I mean, I might wake up and turn it on just for the hell of it, just have it playing in the background. A lot of these, I was looking at the odds of some of these. Some of these are like crazy, mismatched odds. So there's probably going to be some ass beatings on it. So might get some highlight finishes. The second one you got on there, that Azat Maxim and Mitch Raposo, a minus 380 against a plus 300. I mean, that's a big spread. There's a minus 425 against a plus 330. So, I mean, there's probably going to be some big finishes on that prelim. So it might be worth watching.
Steve?
Yeah, for what it's worth, I like seeing, if I can catch it, Chris Barnett. If he wins and does something spectacular like his split butt flop, That's what made me like him. You know, he's a funny guy. Walk out. Uh, has able to win some fights in the UFC. So just because his name is sort of known to me, I will have an eye out for him. And then Walter Walker, which if I can remember, because I think in any sport there's always a comparison of brothers. You know, the Koffer brothers. One of them got released, by the way.
Is that Johnny's brother?
But yeah, Johnny Walker.
I didn't know that was his brother. And Johnny got released?
No, I was saying there's always a comparison or watch out for like brothers in the same organization. And I was giving an example of the Taffa brothers. And I was like, one of them got released, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's only one Taffa brother fighting. But Johnny Walker is Walter Walker. Because I think he's been getting some wins also and gaining popularity.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that. I think the Haparash and Salakil, that'll be a pretty fun fight. And then the Ikram Aliskerov and Park Jung-yu at close to the top of the card. I think those will be some fun fights as well. But curious to see why they don't have any early prelims. I'm guessing maybe because they're over there. But let's get into the main card, fellas. To kick this one off in the light heavyweight division, we got Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. What are your thoughts on this one, Amar?
This should be a good fight. Odds on this one, they got Rakic at a -105 against Osmat's -115. So, I mean, it's a basically pick 'em. Both these guys are bangers. I think I'm going to have to go with Rakic on this one.
3-fight losing streak.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's in a must-win situation. You know, I don't think that he's one of those fighters that you would expect to be on a losing streak like that. Like, previously, I thought that, you know, he was even going to be a title contender.
Yeah, he was on the brink of that, and then he went on that losing streak.
Who's the last one that he lost to?
It was Magomed
Ankalaev. Yeah, it was Ankalaev.
So
I think that being on that 3-fight losing streak after Thiago Santos, I mean, he's lost to Jan, Jerry, and Ankalaev. So, I mean, it's not like he's losing to scrubs, but who's Osmat? Undefeated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it's probably a dumb pick. Guy on a 3-fight losing streak against a guy that's undefeated, but I think his back's against the wall. Yeah, Rakic.
Steve?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. His losses have been, you know, top tier. We could say even champions. Did Jerry ever get a championship?
Yeah.
Yeah, the interim.
Yeah.
No, he had the full-on championship.
Did he? Then he got injured or something?
And then
yeah, that's right.
And then Hill got it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, lost against Blachowicz, champion, Jerry, Ankalaev. So I think this is the fight to where he has to let an up-and-comer challenge him, which I think this may be where the talent pool is, you know, as far as like top 10, from 5 to 10 to top 5. I think Rakic has enough talent to stop this guy. So I think, yeah, dude's ranked 10. Rakic is 7, but like you said, he's undefeated on the upcoming, but he doesn't have the resume from what I see that Rakic lost to. So I think this is his literal test.
So both of y'all got Rakic on. I gotta take some risk to try to catch up with Admire. So I'm gonna go at Murzakanov. He said he's a minus what, Admire?
-115. minus 105. I mean, it's a pick 'em.
Yeah. I think Rakic will be desperate. So I think he is a very high chance that he will win this fight. But, gotta catch up. Let's move on to the next one in the heavyweight division. Guy we were talking about earlier. Jalton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov. What are your thoughts on this one, Amar?
This one, Volkov is a plus 185 underdog. Almeida, he lost to Blades, but before that, his last loss before that was 7 years ago in a different promotion. Volkov's last loss was his last fight against Cyril Gane. The only thing I don't like in this fight is Volkov has a big height and weight difference. Volkov has like 6 inches on him and like 20 pounds on him. But I think Almeida is just a way better fighter. He's put out Spivak. He's put out, Derek Lewis by decision, submitted Rosenstruck. I think Almeida's just on a tear, man. I got to take Almeida.
What are the odds on that one again?
On this one, Almeida is the favorite at minus 225. Volkov is the underdog at plus 185.
So you're going Almeida?
Yeah.
Steve?
To go with Almeida, too. I know he had that slip up with Blades, but it's been years since that. Plus, since Volkov's not a ground person anyway, I think it starts to favor Almeida, for the KO punch, which I think he may get on Volkov more than Volkov can get to him because, even Almeida has some ground game from what I remember. So I think he has more tools to get the job done.
Yeah, I like Almeida's ground game. And he sure he has some hands too. I think I'm gonna go Almeida on this one. But before that Gane loss, I don't know if you talked about this earlier, when Volkov was on that fighting streak. You talked about him facing, was it Pavlovich you were talking about?
I mean, Volkov's a big guy. I mean, he was on a roll. I mean, his only losses are against, top guys in the UFC.
Aspinall Gane twice, Curtis Blade, Black Beast,
and Derek Lewis. I mean, all top guys that have been in the top 5 of the heavyweight.
Yeah, people forget he was a Bellator heavyweight champion, but I guess take that for what it's worth because a lot of these Bellator guys been losing in the UFC, but that was a long time ago. So all 3 of us got Almeida in this one. Up next, bantamweight division, we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. Thoughts, Admire?
Yeah, this one is a heavy discrepancy in the odds. So I think we're all probably going to pick the same one as well. Yeah, man, I mean, it's an easy pick on this one. You got to go with Umar. I mean, he's such a elite fighter when it comes to comparison against Mario Batista. There's just a big level change, not just their rankings. Umar's ranked number 2, Batista's ranked number 9, but just looking at both of their fighting style, I mean, you could bet your house on this one.
Steve? Who you got, Steve?
I've been starting to notice Batista ever since the Aldo win. And I've been seeing him or paying attention to him ever since. Umar Nurmagomedov, that's a hard one to say. Who's going to lose, especially although Merab was dominant, went head-to-head with him as far as for a little bit, wrestling. And saying that, he has that in his repertoire. I feel like Nurmagomedov is just going to be too dominant and clinch and the ground game to where Bautista probably won't get up for one of those takedowns.
This could be one of those sneaky fights where, the experience underdog kind of shocks everybody and able to get the upset against, the highly favored fighter. But I don't think it's going to happen there. I got Umar Nurmagomedov to win this again. Well, not again, or this particular fight. But I was thinking ahead. I think if he wins this one, I think they're looking to stick him in against the winner of Marab and Yan. So, a lot right on the line for Nurmagomedov if he wants to stay in contention. So, he better go out there and handle business. So, all three of us got Nurmagomedov in this one. Now, let's get into the co-main event. We got 2 championships on the line this weekend. Kicking this one off is the vacant women's strawweight title. We got Verna Janadiroba versus Mackenzie Dern for that vacant title. Thoughts, Admire?
This one's a pretty close fight according to the odds. They got Verna at a plus 130 underdog. They got Mackenzie Dern at a minus 155 favorite, so it's not a big spread. I think all of us have been pretty high on Mackenzie Dern since, forever, for years. Always exciting to watch her fight. Not saying Verna's not. Verna on a very good, win streak. She's won like the last 5 or 6 fights. So deserving of the title shot as well. I think that this is going to be a really good fight. That's why the odds are as close as they are. Man, this is the one I think that is going to divide us. Verna beat my girl Angela Hill a couple years ago. Did Dern beat Angela Hill? She did beat Angela Hill as well. Dern beat Loopy last year.
Lost to Lemos and Andrade. And
Verna beat... Man, this is such a tough pick here. You know what? I'm going to go against my initial pick. I've always picked Dern every show that we've had that she's fought on, and I'm going to...
Man, it's so hard because when I look at their records, a lot of who Verna beat, Mackenzie Dern couldn't, but there's a few wins that Mackenzie Dern won that Verna lost to, and it's just like a throw in the air with these two as far as comparison to, because they fought a lot of the same people. Well, it looks like
Oh, yeah. Hey, just to throw this in, I just noticed on the record that Verna's already lost to Mackenzie Dern 5 years ago.
and yeah, and not only that too, and you look at the time to see how much they grew apart, and it seems like Verna, if she's been on a win, only a few bumps in the road, and she lost to Ribas, who also Dern beat, and that was in 2021. But ever since then, she's been winning. So I'm thinking she's been winning ever since. So I think she may have able to overcome anything that she hasn't learned since the Dern fight, versus the leap of people Dern has fought, because I think there's more people that Dern hasn't won against.
Am I and Steve Govern? Well, I think you're a lot higher on Dern than I've been, Admire, because she's just been too inconsistent. Because she came in with a lot of hype. It seems like UFC wanted to make her the next it girl, in the vein of the Rouseys and the Paige Van Zants and that mold. And she's kind of been underperforming as far as that hype, in my opinion. Win-loss, win-loss. And I feel like it's not been a whole lot of evolution in her MMA game. I feel like sometimes she relies too much on trying to stand up and not going to her bread and butter. And I don't think she's very creative in ways she could get to the ground as well. And she beat Verna back in 2020, but that's a long time ago, 5 years ago. I think Verna learns from her mistakes and able to get the win in this one. So all three of us got Verna. Not too split so far. uh, let's go to the main event. Heavyweight division. You got your undisputed heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn. Thoughts, Admar?
Yep, another one big spread on the odds. We got Tom Aspinall, a minus 355 favorite. Cyril Gahn plus 280 underdog. So not a lot of faith from the odds makers on this one. So I think probably we're all going to be on the same page on this one unless somebody has a crazy gut feeling. I mean, not a lot of weakness in Tom Aspinall's, skills. I don't see any way that he loses this fight unless there's, some kind of fluke. His last loss to Curtis Blades was that knee injury. It wasn't like he got dominated or, just beat outright. His, other losses were in other promotions early on in his career 10 years ago. Aspinall is just a very well-rounded fighter. Not to say Cyril Gahn isn't, but I think there's a lot more holes in Cyril Gahn's game than, what you're going to find in Aspinall's. And I think Aspinall is a guy that can expose them. Aspinall is, quicker, better, in almost every which way. I don't even know about, what's the size? They're both 6'5", so I mean, there's not even going to be a size advantage for Gahn, so that's out the window. And I think Aspinall's got a 5-pound weight advantage, so even Aspinall's got a weight advantage. So there's really nothing that I can find that says Cyril Gahn has an advantage of. Tom Aspinall has it in every single way. So yeah, it's easy. Aspinall.
Steve?
Yeah, I would say, and Aspinall would seem have the overall skill, although with fights, can't remember if he went to the ground too many times, which I can say the same for Cyril Gahn. And I could say Cyril Gahn would have the advantage on the feet, but then again, I'd be thinking of how he got caught by Visa with the overhand, which is Tom Aspinall's, I think, bread and butter is the 1-2 combo, fought before by, I feel like, a lesser talented fighter in his career. Luckily, he overcame that with Visa. But saying that, I'll go with Cyril Gahn because I think you're going to have to get him hurt to get a takedown. The advantage goes to the other person. I think Cyril Gahn may pull this off based off of his stand-up. Haven't seen too much ground game with Aspinall.
Well, they're probably not going to go to the ground. I don't see Gahn trying to take him down.
Yeah.
But to go back on what Admire said, I haven't seen Aspinall in a dogfight. I want to see him get in a dogfight because I think Aspinall is the bigger puncher. Definitely has the power to get Gahn out of there quickly. I don't know. I'd have to look back and see if he's that much faster than him on the feet. But I think Gon is the more technical stand-up guy as far as like pure striking and pure technical ability. And I think that's a little bit overlooked when people are looking at this fight. With that being said, I'm still picking Aspinall just because I think he's going to catch Gon. Gon will get caught with his foot off the gas, or he could get caught slipping and just get caught. It seems like Aspinall has a good way of doing that every fight. But I won't be surprised if Gon is able to keep it on the feet and just outbox Aspinall. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Just out kickbox him. But it being a 5-round fight, I just don't believe he'd be able to stay away from Aspinall all 5 rounds. That's the only thing. And I'm picking Aspinall to finish him. Because if it goes the distance, I think Gon will win, but I don't think it's going to go the distance. So I have Aspinall winning this. You have anything to follow up on that, Amar?
As you were saying that, you said that something about Aspinall not being a dogfight. So I was just looking over kind of what he has done in the UFC. He hasn't been in a fight that's went over 2 rounds. Like, all of his stuff is ended early. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, you're right. It'd be interesting to see him. But I don't know if Gon's the guy to do it. It'll be interesting when he does get in a dogfight and to see how he handles that and see what happens when he actually does get hit. And what Steve said, something about Aspinall's ground game. Well, Aspinall is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So I don't know. I don't think he'll have a problem if he does get taken down, but that's the thing. Gon's got to get close enough to take Aspinall down. And I think Aspinall, his hands are really good. So that's going to be trouble for anybody who tries to take him down. I think just Aspinall is so well-rounded in everything with striking, clinching, keeping distance if he wants to. Just anybody's going to struggle with him. And I think that's why he is where he is,
Where did he get his black belt from? Dylan Dennis?
Well, I mean, it says one of his teams is Aspinall Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I think his family is actually like...
We know all black belts aren't made the same, so I have to go and do some research to see where he got it from, but I digress. All I know is Aspinall better win this fight, because if he doesn't, it's going to be an avalanche and he's going to get murdered online. So this is almost like a must-win fight for Aspinall with all the surroundings, him getting the title and whatnot. But like I said, I think he'll get the job done. But that brings us to the end of the card. Where you going to be watching the fight at, am I?
It's a midday one. I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything going on Saturday, so I'll probably just be watching it from home. I mean, the weather's changing and everything, but I still got my TV outside. I might just do some yard work outside and watch it out there.
Yeah, I know you're going to be watching it a little later, Steve. I don't really have anything planned this weekend, so maybe I will watch the prelims at 9 in the morning and have that and some college football on, have a fun Saturday. Treat UFC like Saturday morning cartoons with a bowl of cereal. But it should be a fun weekend of fights. So we'll be back next weekend to recap everything like we always do. And we're getting to the end of the year. Pretty close in the fight picks. And the holidays will be here before you know it. But make sure you subscribe on YouTube and make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. That'll do it for us here at Haymaker Combat Sports. Until next time, be safe out there. Later.
Hit the takedown, ground and pound, that was from the top. Heel hooking, no more plot to leave you in the knot. Pound for pound, been the greatest. Sitting on the top, man, I'm laughing at the fools who think they coming for the spot. You ain't got a shot, it's already mine.